Hello, everyone. Today, I want to bring attention to an issue that affects not only our city of Chula Vista, but communities across California: homelessness. This isn't just about people living on the streets, it's about the deeper systematic issues that put them in there in the first place. We'll explore the key factors contributing to homelessness in our city and how we can begin addressing them. Many of us may think of homelessness as simply not having a roof over one's head, but in reality, it's much more complex. Homelessness is often the result of a broken system, one that fails to provide affordable housing, economic stability, and necessary mental health care.
City leaders are trying to get ahead of the growing homeless population.
It's not safe.
They deserve the right to live too.
There's still a lot more work that needs to be done.
Chula Vista, like much of California, is experiencing a severe housing shortage. Rent prices continue to soar while wages fail to keep pace. Many people, even those working full-time jobs, simply cannot afford a place to live. The Wall Street Journal highlights how reconstructive zoning laws and high costs slow down the construction of affordable housing, making the crisis worse. Wildfires have destroyed thousands of homes across the state.
Story here. Several people are without a place to stay after a fire tore through a Chula Vista apartment complex, destroying 3 units.
Yet rebuilding efforts are often focused on expensive developments rather than affordable housing. With housing demands outpacing supply, low-income residents find themselves pushed out or forced into unstable living situations. Some face waiting lists for subsidized housing that stretch over 6 years. Others are denied access to housing due to past evictions or minor criminal records. Similar to what happened to Crystal, without stable housing, these individuals become trapped in a cycle of homelessness. Even beyond housing, the overall cost of living in Chula Vista is rising. The wage of many working class residents are simply not enough to keep up with inflation. Jobs in retail, hospitality, and even healthcare jobs that many homeless individuals hold do not provide a living wage. According to the Wall Street Journal, middle-class workers are also struggling, leading to exodus of residents who can no longer afford to live in the state. This economic imbalance means that homelessness is no longer just a problem for the unemployed, it is a growing reality for working families as well. Another major factor contributing to homelessness is the lack of mental health and addiction treatment services. Many individuals on the streets struggle with mental illnesses such as PTSD, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia, often without access to medication or care. The San Francisco Chronicle reports that even cities with strong shelters like San Francisco still face large homelessness populations because shelters and housing programs do not provide adequate mental health resources. For people like Crystal, who had multiple mental health diagnoses, the lack of support can be devastating.
It's not safe. You're actually more at risk going into the shelter than you are to be on the street. It's obviously what we got in place right now isn't working.
Despite receiving supplemental security income for her condition, she was eventually cut off due to bureaucratic red tape. With no income, no house, no treatment, she was left to survive on the streets any way she could. Instead of addressing these systemic issues, some policies further criminalize homelessness. In San Jose, for example, a proposed policy would arrest homeless individuals who refuse shelter 3 times.
There is a new approach to end homelessness in San Jose. Unhoused people could be sent to jail if they repeatedly refuse offers of shelter. It's called responsibility to shelter.
While this approach might seem like a way to encourage people to seek help, it ignores the larger issue: the lack of affordable, accessible housing. Critics argue that this type of policy shifts the blame onto individuals rather than fixing the system. Homelessness is not just about personal choice. It's about a systemic issue that requires systemic solutions. Here's what we can do as a community. Support affordable housing initiatives, encourage policies that make it easier to build affordable housing in Chula Vista, improve economic opportunities, advocate for higher wage jobs, job training programs, and expanded support for low-income workers. Expand mental health and substance abuse services. Push for increased funding and accessibility for mental health care, ensuring that those in need can get treatment before they end up on the street. Work towards policies that address the root cause of homelessness rather than penalizing people for being homeless. Homelessness in Chula Vista is not an isolated issue. It's a symptom of a larger systematic failures. we must recognize that solutions go far beyond individual actions. They require comprehensive changes in housing, economic policies, and healthcare. If we truly want to make a difference, we need to focus on long-term strategies that prevent homelessness before it starts. Crystal's story is not unique. There are thousands like her caught in relentless cycles of poverty and instability. But by acknowledging the deeper issue and advocating for real change, we can create a future where no one has to live without a home.